Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So it's about 3:30, 26.2 degrees Celsius, 58% humidity. It is Thursday the 26th. What's that? 79.7, and no, my batteries aren't fully charged. Anyway guys, welcome back to the Hoard. As many of you guys know, the Hoard needs constant input to keep going. And it needs different kinds of input. To some extent, it needs amusement, right? It needs, and tools are always coming in. Some to try out. Some are just used constantly. Not that they really break or wear out, but I just bring in new stuff to try it out. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a review. Most of the time when I cut, I use these 4.5-inch grinders. At work, to cut unistrut and everything else, they have these chop saws that they have a carbide tooth blade on, and they do a really nice job. They don't spin as fast as these. They spin more, or the grinders, they spin more the speed of a normal chop saw, but they really do a nice job cutting up unistrut and so forth. So gonna try that out too. Under the constant input, you guys could see I'm watching your channels. I try to comment. I don't always, but I try to comment on your channels. I figure if somebody goes through the trouble of making a video, it's nice to comment. I can't always stay and watch the video through. Frequently I get pulled away, so I might watch half or three quarters. Like last night, WTBM, he's got a video on using a flanging tool to put he called it a bubble flange on one side of a brake line. Stuff like that. I might watch it and say, well, I'm not doing brake lines, but then for some reason I'll have to do brake lines, and I'll be like, wow, if I know that I could go look at WTBM, and he's got a video up on how to do it, or more than that. I'll see the brand name of tool he has that he's using to build those brake lines at the flea market, and I'll scap it up real reasonable. Anyway, last week I was talking about gas tanks, and this is a nice test gas tank, so to speak. But if I really want to use this bike and really want to ride this bike, this is kind of, or if I decide that this is one of the bikes that's going to my sons, that ain't gonna cut it. So I've bought a few gas tanks over the years on eBay, and somewhere around $25-30 is typically what I spend. And like this gas tank, see, it's got the cutout. Let's call it a cutout. Yeah, why not? For the frame. This is for Honda 50, 70, that type of thing. Obviously it's made of plastic, and it was less than $30. It came with the valve. It looks to be very well made. So I picked this up once again, in hopes of having some kind of solution to leaky gas tanks. Obviously, constant input of, brake cleaner, starting fluid, various chemicals to keep things going. While I was looking around, I also found this 200X gas tank, and the inside looks good. I don't know, could you guys see in there? It really looks good. As a matter of fact, it looks like somebody put a coating on it. That gas tank came with, I'll show you the bike. This bike over here. Right, that guy. So I now have a 200X gas tank for the bike down in the driveway. I'm trying to get a little better at finishing these rigs off. Like this guy, before I call it a day on this, I'm going to take it and bring it up to the car wash and blast the engine clean, blast the whole thing clean before I put the plastics on it. If you go to William Statton's channel, he cleans everything up real nice and paints it before he puts it together. As a matter of fact, almost all you guys do. I'm like the only one who kind of puts stuff together ratty. I do have a new pressure washer sitting in the basement, plus several that need a little love to run. And what I should do is, before I put the plastic back on, I should just blast them and clean them up real nice. This one actually isn't in too bad a condition, but I should get a little better at that. This is another gas tank I picked up. You could see it's got the bolts to mount it on the bottom, and it came with a valve, and you guys can see the brackets that stretch across the bolts, which would wrap around that. This one, I think this was out of Texas or California, and it was under $30, $27 or whatever. Just to kind of show you guys what's out there. This tank, actually, though it's obviously not an OEM tank, really isn't a bad looking tank. I mean, one could kind of smash that tank on and bolt it up properly, and once again, it's got the valve and the whole shoot match here. For $30, you got a nice metal gas tank on your quad or trike or whatever you're restoring, motorcycle, or if you're building a mini bike or whatever. And it's not a bad looking tank. I mean, it's a China tank, obviously. So the greatest quality, no. I'd probably run stabilized gas or run it out if you want to keep it alive for a long period of time. I've also had some success with the bikes that I try to keep gas in. Is I use stabilizer, and then a lot of times if I'm putting them away for the winter and all, obviously I run the carbs out of gas. Then I'll take the gas cap off and put a nice spray of WD-40 around the gas cap, on the gas cap, around the gas cap, and kind of to take up the airspace in the tank. That kind of keeps it from rotting out as much. I'm also, and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do this, but I spent more time than I like looking for things. Like I spent, like this thing must have been on there, and it slipped off onto the side, and then the wind took that plastic and blew it on top. So I spent like more than an hour looking for this gas tank thing, and I only had an hour to spare, and I really wanted to smash, or this carburetor, and I wanted to smash this carburetor onto the Mojave in the driveway. So if you got an hour to spend to work on something, and you spend the hour looking for something that should be like in your hands, you've just, luckily I found it. A lot of times I'll piss away an hour and not find it, and still not be good. And you guys could just see I do need to figure this out. 231, he and I, well, wild-eyed northern boy, there's a bunch of us out here who love playing with this stuff, but we're a little attention deficit, so we tend to get in over our head with, I need a project to work on, so let me buy 14, and then let me have them all going on at the same time so they're in parallel, and that creates, loose plastic and loose gas tanks and loose carburetors and nuts and bolts and various other messes. So let's do all that. And then let's work on them in several different places. So I have, tools over there and tools over here and tools over here. And by the way, about tools, while I'm buying tools, if I'm at a flea market and I couldn't find an adjustable wrench last week, I might as well buy another half a dozen, which, by the way, because I don't put anything away, have a tendency to sit in boxes all over. So it's part of the attention deficit disorder mind. And to be honest with you, when I do clean things up and really put them away, then I can't find them at all. Then I just go out and buy whatever I can find yet one more time, which adds to the mess. So there are suggestions out there on how to improve it. I've got it to the point where I'm functional. I'm a functional ADD person. Some people are much better at it than others. It seems that wild-eyed northern boy manages to keep his stuff in halfway decent order. Actually, he seems to keep it in very good order. 231 is a little bit more like me, it seems. But I got to be honest with you guys. It's always going to look, if this area is cleaned up, then the mess is down below. If down below cleans up, then the mess migrates up here. When I built this garage, this is 24 by 24. I don't know if you guys realize that. See that double beam right there? From there to the outside is 12 foot, and then obviously from there to that side is 12 foot. From that double beam right there to the outside wall is 12 foot, and so right, 12 by 12 times 4 is 24 by 24. And there's a loft upstairs, right? You guys can see the wood. That's fairly full also. And right, there's kind of a second story that's 4 by 22, right, to allow for the doors. I lose a little bit of space. And you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 three-wheelers on top, a mountain of tires. There's engines and, well, another couple of frames there. So there's quite the mountain of stuff there. And part of the issue with me, excuse me, is I have many different thoughts. That constant input thing, right? I'll be cruising videos and I'll see, a Sears, like that's an SS16 tractor. And I'll be, wow, that thing is really well made. Some guy put a loader on it and, built it and all that. And then I'll be, on Craigslist and I'll see that like SS16 tractor for $150. And I'll be like, wow, not only is it a cool tractor, but it's got the 16 horsepower motor and carburetor and all intact, which is the same thing that thing uses. So I can pull the motor off of that, put a China 16 on it, which gets the thing running, moving, and reliable, and look at all the spare parts I have for that thing, and I only invested like $150. So, I mean, that's the kind of crazy stuff that hits my mind. That Boland's right there, it's an 850 with a 10 horsepower on. The guy just put the motor on it. I was off the coast of Norway on a cruise, and the weather was not great, so we didn't want to be out on deck. And I happened to be in the computer lounge cruising eBay, and I saw that thing, and it was right at the end when I saw it, and I picked it up. I think it was $75 with a brand new 10 horse Briggs on it, a brand new modern 10 horse Briggs. I mean, that Boland's came with the mower deck and the snowblower, the tractor, the whole bit. It was under $100. It was a pick it up, and it was located not all that far from me, out Carmel, Mahopac area. So obviously I grabbed that right away, and then I was talking about it at work, and somebody said, oh, I got one that my father-in-law left up in the garden. If you want that, it's free. So you end up with a second one. So I know there'll be people out there who say, sometimes free isn't free, and that may all be true. But if when you grow up poor and somebody offers you something cool, it's really hard not to say, well, I didn't have cool stuff when I was young, but I could get cool stuff now, so I'm gonna get all the cool stuff I can lay my hot little hands on. Once again, I'm not hating, I'm not rationalizing, I'm just explaining some of my crazy thoughts. Anyway, I got to go in 4 hours last night. This is my last shift with my old company, so it's kind of a goodbye. Though my old company is going to become my new company, and it's going to be the same job, the same location, the same everything. But it's just kind of, my boss really wanted me in on the last night just to make sure that all the transitional stuff is done, and that he I don't know, maybe he's sentimental, or maybe we're going to the new company, and the first day at the new company is going to be a pink slip. I don't know, whatever. You worry about this stuff and it makes you old. Might as well not worry about it. Okay, folks, I've been rambling about 18 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I really want to thank you all for watching and commenting, sticking with me, get me up over 1,000 subscribers. That's all really, really cool, and I do appreciate that. I do appreciate all the input. I do find it helpful. The Hoard needs constant input. I do appreciate you when you guys keep your feet down, keep your head up, and when you enjoy your days. And particularly, I appreciate it when I see videos of that. Get out there and make a video. When you go to the junkyard, bring your camera along. When you're going through your basement and you find a project that you put aside, or you find something cool, take a couple of minutes and make a video of it. When my garage door cables broke for the garage, I threw a quick video up on how I fixed them. That video has received more views than all my other videos. More views than the all-terrain vehicles, more views than, I found this, flea market finds, more views than my CDI hack, my carburetor hack, you know, and it was kind of like one of these, oh crap, my cables are broken, you know. And I just threw a quick video on it, and that's what got the views. So, you know, YouTube is interesting, and you don't know what you're going to talk about that could go quasi-viral. I guess I'm not the only jerk out there that has broken, you know, garage door cables, and you know, and somebody needs a tutorial on how to fix them. So guys, get behind the camera, make a video. You can buy these cameras. You know, the last couple of cameras I bought, not this one, this was much more expensive, but I bought a couple of flea market rat cameras. They were in open packages. I don't know where they were from, Target, Walmart, wherever the hell they were from, and they were like $5 each. And you know, I tried them out and they worked. I haven't put anything up on YouTube with them. I should do that just for a laugh, you know, just so that we could all see how well a $5 camera works. But it's not like it cost $1 million to get into this game. You could buy, you know, 16 gig memory sticks for, you know, $10. Buy a camera for $25, and you know, you could be a YouTuber for not much money. So you know, please get out there and please make some videos. Remember, the hoard needs constant input. All right, folks. Once again, thank you for watching and commenting and subscribing. Feet down, head up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. And bring your camera with you. Bye now.